Good morning. Welcome to
Tirta Martha Sing This Day, IGTV.
today. My friend Ayap and I will be suggesting to you guys movies that we've come across and liked.
We know that at the moment we have to bite the law and stay at home to prevent the virus spread.
So if you're anything like us, you're bored at home and don't know what to do most of the time. We will be suggesting to you guys movies that we've came across and hopefully you like them and watch them to lighten up your mood during these hard times.
I suggest you prepare to take notes or remember these suggestions so you don't miss out on anything. Now let's start with the first movie. It's Kingsman, The Secret Service. It's a British American action spy comedy, and I think that many of you will recognize this one. The movie is about a private spy organization that recruits a promising street punk named Exy, while a tech genius plans to murder the whole world so mankind can start anew. So, because of that, our recruit has to save the organization and the world from the tech genius, which is not an easy task, mind you. The tech genius, who is played by Samuel L. Jackson, has an entire army of bodyguards with military grade equipment, so you can imagine it will be very hard. The movie is directed by Matthew Vaughn, and you can really see his style of directing, that is very distinct from other movies. It's really fast and uses multiple angles with multiple takes, but looks really smooth once edited. The comedy is also really funny, and the action scenes are really extremely engaging and fun.
So Kingsman,
Yeah,
it's a spy movie, is
hmm
it?
it's like James
Yeah.
Bond, but a bit more comedy based.
Yeah, I remember watching this movie. I've watched it like ages ago. I forgot when.
hmm
I really like their accent they use in the movie.
Yeah, the action is pretty like pretty attractive to be
Like,
honest.
yeah, you could say
Yeah,
that. British or Welsh is it?
yeah,
British, I think. Yeah,
but to me personally, I prefer the fashion style. The suits and all.
the fashion.
Yeah,
They're fighting in suits. That's
hmm
really,
and their
yeah, you could say attractive as well.
yeah, and their fighting style is
Yeah.
really elegant. Like they use the
Uh huh.
umbrellas and all of that, and they
Yeah.
improvise really nice.
All right. So the second movie we have for you guys is, excuse me,
Hmm?
The Old Guard. This movie is for those who loves fighting scenes, and it's currently on
Who are you?
Netflix. Netflix's latest attempt to
Nagoyeni.
launch a blockbuster film franchise is a comic book adaptation about a group of immortal warriors, led by Charlize Theron, who've been secretly fighting to help the rest of humanity down the centuries. Despite their efforts to remain hidden, someone shady has picked up their trail. At the same time, a new immortal. This group consists of four immortal mercenaries, excluding the new one that you'll meet in the middle of the movie. Most of them lived for hundreds or thousands of years. In this movie, you get to discover the good and the bad of being immortal, also how much disasters they have prevented in the world. I truly recommend this movie because the director did amazingly at keeping the movie's audience on their toes, and all the fighting scenes he did was superb. The description of the movie I'm giving to you guys is not enough to fully appreciate the amazing filmmaking from Gina Prince, which is the director. You guys should really watch the movie.
Well, that's certainly interesting. I mean, like I've never seen or heard any type of movie like that. The concept is pretty interesting and new, like immortal warriors who fight bad guys from
Yes.
the entire lifetime of the human race. That's pretty new to me.
Yeah, the concept is really cool. That's why it's like one of the things I really like about the movie. Yeah, Immortal Warriors. What other things can you say? It's really cool.
Yeah.
They live forever. They fight just because they want the good for humanity. Everything.
hmm Well, that's certainly a noble goal. So let's
Yeah,
start with the second movie.
Gara-gara mudod.
It's an
Kaya
let's
action
do it.
movie. The movie shows Ben, and it's about a young teen named Bayou who has a crush on a popular girl named Susan. But because he is not that attractive, nor is he talented, Bayou thought that he's not really the perfect person for Susan and decided to move on. But after Susan sent a voicemail to Bayou, which made him really ecstatic because he thought it was a sign that she likes him, he slowly changes. Soon, however, he realizes that she was using him to get things like free food and so on. Despite that, he stayed stubborn and swore to change for Susan's sake. To do that, he formed a band with his close friends Donnie and Yayan Nando. The rest of the movie is just basically him struggling with his friendship, relationship, and his band. It is a very relatable movie that you can laugh at, and have fun watching it. I think that's really why it's interesting because it's really relatable.
So it's a romance comedy, is it?
It's a comedy musical. I mean, there's a lot of romance in
Comedy
it, but
musical.
like
Hmm.
there's more comedy in it than romance.
And it's very relatable, is it? It's like it's about around our age, is it? The actors? No, not the actors, but how they,
Yeah, not
the
the
act,
actors, but the characters. Yeah, they are in
the
high
characters.
school and
Yeah,
all.
they're in high school. Yeah, it should be relatable to us. And comedy,
Hmm.
can good.
Yeah,
All right. So the fourth movie is Uncut Gems. This is also on Netflix and stars Adam Sandler being Howard Ratner, a charismatic jeweler who makes really heart-racing high-stakes bets that could lead to the windfall of a lifetime. In a precarious high-wire act, he must balance business, family, and adversaries on all sides in pursuit of the ultimate win. So basically, this movie follows a guy with a lot of debt, and the entire movie shows how he overcame all of his debt with his one last bet at the end. This movie is a roller coaster of emotions. One of the many emotions I felt was stress, and a lot of it. It has an insane ending. Adam Sandler in the movie is the epitome of not giving up because whatever he does to try and make things work out for him, it always brings up another problem. So I suggest if you want to watch this movie, you gotta get ready to get shocked.
well, that's certainly a very shocking movie,
Okay, yeah,
but like
yeah,
it may be good to not give up, but it's better to take calculated risk. If you want to gamble,
mm,
make sure that you know the risk, make sure that you know how to do it. But it's better
yeah,
to not gamble. Actually, I'm not endorsing
yeah.
any kind of gamble, by the way.
Yeah.
Disclaimer.
That's one of the problems with the main characters. He's addicted to gambling, and all of the bets he does is, yeah, really exciting to watch. To let it play out.
Yeah, maybe if I watch him
Hmm.
gamble, it's really fun and exciting. But if I do that myself, I wouldn't be very excited.
Yes, that would you would lose money, and that would be really heartbreaking.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, really exciting movie to watch.
Mm-hmm. So to some of you, these movies might not be your cup of tea because maybe they are too serious or maybe they are too action based. That is why I'll be suggesting a romantic movie from Japan. Now, the movie is I Want to Eat Your Pancreas. I know the title sounds like some weird life leak video, but hear me out. It's a really good movie that is recommended by many critics and many fans. So don't worry. And before we continue, I'd like to make myself clear that I'm talking about the live action version, not the anime one. Don't get me wrong though, the anime one is still pretty good. You can watch it if you want. So, the movie is about a high school student that finds a book in a hospital. He then finds out that the book is a diary that belongs to a popular classmate who is apparently suffering from a disease. Eventually, they become friends, and the story is just really about them spending their time and having fun together. Although it sounds really bland and boring, it's actually not, and there are a lot of interesting moments, including a plot twist. So be prepared for that. Though I cannot spoil them, so you have to watch it for yourself.
A romance movie, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, romance. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Uh, the title's a bit weird, don't you say?
Yeah.
Yeah. What was the title?
I Want to Eat Your Pancreas.
I want to eat your
Mm-hmm.
pancreas. Okay, so how is that romantic in any way?
Well, it's actually explained in the movie, and it's related to an old saying that
Mhm.
says that means like if you eat someone's organs or body parts, your disease will be cured, which is terrifying.
Okay, that is pretty questionable,
Hmm.
huh?
And don't try that at home. It has been proven to be false and wrong.
Yeah, definitely don't. I don't. That would make sense for it to be wrong.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. The sixth movie we have for you guys is I'm Thinking of Ending Things. Now, this movie is not for the faint of heart. It's a horror, but it isn't your typical scary movie with jump scares and demons trying to take your soul type of horror. This movie is more psychological. This movie forces you to think about life and death and what you want to become in life and what will happen if you don't achieve that. It's pretty intense if you ask me. The main character of the movie is a poet, and the language she uses from time to time can get a bit confusing. But when you get to the end of the movie, it unveils its meaning of everything, and you end off with a big wow. So yeah, I suggest this movie is for those who likes to think about the movie's ending after watching it.
Wait, so what's the title of the movie again?
I'm thinking of ending things.
Ah, I see. All right.
hmm
So,
I don't really know how the title um uh relates to the movie,
mhm.
but yeah, that's one of the interesting things about the movie, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
hmm
And when you mentioned the language, is it like the Shakespearean writing, like Shakespeare?
Yeah, I mean, she's a writer. She's
I
not a
see.
poet. She's a writer, but she likes to do a lot of poems and like, yeah, all the language she uses in the movie is pretty hard to understand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Well, I guess that's really interesting. Maybe I should watch it later. I haven't watched it.
it is interesting. It's something you can think about, after watching the movies. I love those kinds of
Mm-hmm.
movies. Yeah.
All right. So the next movie is an old but gold movie. It's Back to the Future. Maybe some of you will recognize the name. So the movie is about a teenager, Marty McFly, who accidentally time traveled back to the past and got himself into some deep trouble by encountering his parents and changing the timeline. Now, changing the timeline is a bad thing, and Marty learns it the hard way later in the movie. The movie is basically about him trying to fix the timeline as much as possible, which is a hard thing to do but necessary for reasons explained in the movie. It's a great movie, and I think it's one of the greatest in the history of cinematography.
Marty McFly.
Yeah.
I've watched I watched Back to the Future like way like ages ago.
Same.
I think when I was really young, yeah. Very nostalgic movie.
Yeah. And I think that it really influenced a lot of pop culture, like skateboarding and then the Nike
Yeah, it
shoes.
does influence a lot. The Nike shoes,
Yeah.
the Nike shoes, the one with the automatic lacing ones, right?
Yeah.
Those cost a lot nowadays.
Uh-huh.
Like a lot, thousands of dollars, I think. Yeah,
But I wish like the hoverboard were real. I mean,
the hoverboard
there are
or the
hoverboards.
floating like skateboard.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, there are hoverboards in
yeah,
real life, but they are like with wheels, not actual hoverboards, so that sucks.
yeah. That'd be pretty cool to be real.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so the last movie is for you guys is Sully. Sully is a docudrama about the well-publicized events leading up to the day in early 2009 when U.S. Airways pilot Captain Chesley Sullenberger, or nicknamed Sully, played by Tom Hanks, made a dramatic emergency water landing on the Hudson River. Although the landing was publicized as a crash, putting the plane down in the river was the only ways that Sully and his co-pilot could land without crashing after a flock of geese struck their plane and disabled both engines shortly after takeoff. The movie's dramatic tension revolves around Sully's post-traumatic stress as he wonders whether he did the right thing in the wake of the Transportation Safety Board's insistence that computer simulations of the same conditions showed that he could have landed the plane at two different nearby airports. If you want to find out what happened and if that was the best thing he to do, watch the movie. You won't regret it.
Well, I wonder why they call that his action a bad thing because, like, at the end of the day, he saved his passengers. None of them died, if I remember correctly, right?
Yep, none of the I think about 100 or 150 of the passengers, none of them passed away. None of them. Okay, they got light injuries,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's rather than dying would be best, right?
Yeah, that's a very
hmm
better, very better alternative than dying.
yeah, yeah. This movie is really, really cool to watch,
Fun fact, by the
and
way.
it's real. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Fun fact, by the way, that did you know that bird strikes are pretty common and they can get really fatal depending on the
I
situation
did
and the
not know
bird.
that.
Yeah, there was this
Oh, okay.
case in America where a fighter jet
hmm
flew and a bird hit the cockpit, destroying the cockpit and killing the pilot. So, but luckily the
Wow.
co-pilot managed to land the plane back and he's safe. But the pilot is dead, so that's not good.
All right, that's very
Terrifying.
scary. That's terrifying. Yes, maybe it was an eagle.
Yeah, maybe.
yeah. Okay. So yeah, that's all for you for from us.
Thank you.
I think our time is
Yeah.
up.
Thank you for
We thank you
watching.
for coming and taking the time to watch our video.
We appreciate you for being here and we hope that you'll enjoy our suggestion. Have a safe day and nice day. Goodbye.